Hello Internet, and welcome to this part 2 of Paint It Black. So if you haven't seen part 1, make sure to check it out. Otherwise, also take your time with this, so practice slowly, go over the sections over and over again. If I do a simplified rhythm, try out the simplified rhythm first before doing the more complicated one. And also don't forget to have a look at all the cue cards that will remind you about, I don't know, rhythm, and also about the chord shapes. So without further ado, let's get to it. So the chords you'll need for this next section are actually E minor, D major, G major, down to D major again, and then E minor. That lasts along. And then you're going to need E minor, D major, G major, D major, A major, and then B major. So let's just have a look where the lyrics land on the chords. So I'm just going to play simple strokes. So I see the girls go by dressed in their summer clothes. I have to turn my head until my darkness goes. There we go. So when you're trying to learn how to sing it while playing the guitar, that's really a good exercise to do, is to know on what words the chords land. So here we know that you go E. I see the girls go by dressed in their summer clothes. I have to turn my head until my darkness goes. There we go. The second rhythm we're playing here for the second part is quarter notes. So we're coming from all these eighth notes with this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now we're actually going to do quarter notes. So we're just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. It's usually a good idea to actually count the ands as well anyway. It'll help you stay more solid, especially when you get back to the eighth note. So we can count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's the basic rhythm. So it's simply, basically, that's it. It's always a good idea to count it as well, but you can just think that da, da. That's basically it. And so now we're going to do the chords. And so the chords of this first section are E minor, D major, G major, and D major. So it's a very good idea to break things down, and so we're just going to practice with this simplified rhythm first before we do the actual rhythm that I play. So it's E minor, hit, D major, hit, G major, hit, D major, hit. We would then go to E minor eighth notes, but we're actually just going to practice this little sequence. And we're going to do a little loop. So we're just going to practice this little loop, and I'll count. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's our little simplified groove. Now I'm going to show you what I actually play. So the beginning of what I actually play is the same as the simplified version. It's just 1 and 2, and 3, and 4, right? So that's easy. Now, the second part is a little bit more difficult because we actually play a G. So we go 1 and 2, but we don't play the D on beat. We play it before the beat. So let's break that down. So we start with the G, and the D actually arrives on the and of 2. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and. Second D stroke is on the and of 3, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So that's how you count it. Now, counting is one of the best things you can do, as I say, for control, but you can also just hear it. And so it's a groovy rhythm. So if you want to dance to it, then you'll play it like you'll dance to it. So it's just basically, so ba, da, ba, ba. So you can always also learn these things by singing them like a drum. Ba, da, ba, 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 ba. Okay, so that's the rhythm, almost though, because there's actually a little subtlety, because before we get to the next section, we also hit 2 open strings here, and I kind of aim for these thinner strings when I do it. So I'll show you it instinctively, and then we'll count it. So, okay, so. And then we land on the E minor afterwards. So what we're doing here, if we count, is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so let's do that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's do that again, slower. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And so these are open strings. And then we get back to the E minor 8th notes. And so the second time, instead of going on the E minor, we go on the A major and on the B major. But there's a little subtlety. Instead of playing these open strings, like we did to go to the E minor, we actually keep our index on the 2nd fret of the G to land to the A major. But I'll show that in just a moment. Just listen to the rhythm with the chord changes, and then we'll go to the left hand. So. And there we go. So let's just have a look at what the left hand is doing in this little sequence. So it goes like this. Okay, so what does that? What's important here, as far as the left hand goes, is in fact to leave the strings open between D and E minor. That's really quite important. And when you go the second time round, you leave your index here on the A note, so the 2nd fret of the G string, between your transition from D major to A major. So I'll show what I mean. So. There we go. Those are the important transitions and chord fingerings for that section. Let's have a look at both hands now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's how it goes. So the next rhythm we need to check out is the rhythm that we have in the paint it, paint it, paint it, paint it black part of the song. So what is that? That is simply quarter notes and then an offbeat little thing. So let's start with the quarter note. So paint it is 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the first two painted. Painted, painted, okay? So the next bar starts off the same because we go painted, and so that's 1 and 2, but we actually have to wait a while. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that's the rhythm. So you can practice that slowly. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Alright, so let's do that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you're not obliged to count, but it will be more efficient and you'll have more control if you do. So here's the rhythm. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So there it is. So let's have a look with two hands so you can see the chord transitions and how it goes with the lyrics. Painted, 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 painted black. That's it, basically. Okay? So, really, you can try and just listen and find the rhythm, and when you're singing, it's kind of easier to just do the same thing as your voice. But it's a good idea to try and count it out as well. That way you have both methods and you become a better musician. And that concludes that lesson on Paint It Black. So we're actually going to have a look even more in detail regarding the composition, the lyrics, and how to make it more your own, the interpretation that you could give, the little twist, little flavour that you could give to Paint It Black. But that'll be in the next video. So, if you like this channel, if you like what I'm trying to do here, then please like, share, subscribe, and all of that goodness. And in the meantime, keep on rocking.